For more educational videos, subscribe to our channel and click on bell icon to never miss an update.
Today I am going to explain the basic skills that you require to crack IELTS General Training Test. It's popularly known as IELTS GT. In IELTS GT, you will have a listening, a reading, a writing and speaking subtests. IELTS GT is required when you have plans to migrate to different countries across the globe, or when you have plans to get your permanent residency in the country of your choice. Let's look at listening component first. The basic skill that you require to score a very high band in the listening test on a scale of 0 to 9 bands is that you should be able to listen to different accents of English. You have the British accent or the American accent or the New Zealandian English accent or some other accent, isn't it? What should you do to increase your proficiency to get mastery on different English accents across the globe? You can think of, watching some popular channels that are, telecasted from different English-speaking countries, or that use different accents of English. For instance, if you want to improve your proficiency in British accent, why don't you spend some time daily listening to BBC News? BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation. Or if you are interested in, for example, say listening to Australian accent, because Australian accent is considered to be one of the toughest accents to listen to and follow, you can always listen to a channel called ABC. ABC stands for Australian Broadcasting Corporation. And don't forget to listen to TED Talks, TED Talks, TED Talks cater to different people, and they are delivered by, experts on different topics, ranging from anatomy to zoology. I mean to say, you can choose your topic of interest and listen to a 10-minute TED Talk on that subject. This way, you can easily grasp the native accents of English. And another important skill that you require to crack the IELTS listening test is how clearly you are able to understand the information that the speakers utter on the tape, or how effectively you can understand the ideas that they share with you when they speak on the tape. And finally, how effectively you are able to grasp what is there in their mind, or what is there in their heart. In other words, are you able to understand the viewpoints, judgments, opinions, prejudices of the speakers when they present their ideas on various aspects? In the IELTS listening test, you will be listening to conversations and lectures. Based on the content of these conversations and lectures, you will be answering 40 questions. And how many answers are going to be correct on 40 will determine your band score on a band scale of 0 to 9 bands. Fine. Then look at reading component. Most of you complain that reading section is relatively more difficult in the IELTS GT. Why? The reasons are very clear. You are asked to read much content in less time. So, what's the solution? You need to learn some speed reading techniques. These techniques help you go through a text faster, still understand it better. Then, the second important aspect is skimming and scanning technique. What is skimming? You have to quickly go through a paragraph, have a bird's eye view of that paragraph. Don't go deeper into details. This is called skimming. And when you read a question and paraphrase it, come back to this paragraph or any other paragraph that you have already skimmed through. Now scan it. What is scanning? Read a bit slowly because now you have to pick the answers for the questions. This technique also helps you in a very effective manner to score a high band in the IELTS reading test. You know, in the IELTS reading test, you have to read 5 passages. The first 2 passages are related to your daily life or the educational matters, and the next 2 passages deal with employment related stuff, say about recruitment, firing an employee, or about giving loans to the employees, etc. And the last passage, it's pretty long and it deals with a general matter. It can be about rivers or volcanoes, or it can be about mountains or an extinct language, right? Remember, in the IELTS reading test also, you will be answering 40 questions in 60 minutes by reading 5 passages. How many answers are going to be correct on 40 will determine your band score on the same band scale of 0 to 9 bands. Now, let's turn to the writing section. In the writing section you have 2 tasks. One is letter writing. You have 20 minutes to write 150 words on the topic given using some hints provided. And task 2 is essay writing. Here you have to write an essay on the topic given according to the keywords of the question in 250 words, and you have 40 minutes to complete the essay writing task. In a nutshell, to write a beautiful letter, I think you need to possess a very effective language. So first work on how to create complex sentences that communicate your ideas clearly. Then work on the appropriate words. Even if you know many words, it doesn't mean that you can use them appropriately. So selecting the right word for the right emotion, selecting the right word for the right context is very important. And lastly, how you arrange your ideas in a sequence. This is what is called coherence and cohesion. Take care of these 3 aspects as far as the letter writing is concerned. When you look at the essay writing, it's pretty complex compared to letter writing, because in the essay writing you need knowledge of the topic. Suppose the topic is about global warming. Without knowing what is global warming, I don't think that you can write a content-based essay. You cannot write, something irrelevant or unrelated to the topic. So keep reading lots of samples. You have hundreds of websites dedicated to IELTS writing. You have many books written on IELTS essay writing, isn't it? So follow some standard samples that have already secured 7.5 or 8 bands on a scale of 0 to 9 bands in the writing section, and you can gather some ideas about different aspects of what's happening around you. Secondly, your argument. Writing means what? You have to argue in favor of or against something, somebody's opinion, or somebody's what you call viewpoints or some practices. Here your argument should be valid and your examples should be solid. A valid argument is an argument that can stand the litmus test of logic, and a solid example is an example that is strong enough to support your reasoning. So remember these 2 points: valid arguments and solid arguments. Valid arguments and solid examples, will enhance your bands by 0.5 to 1 band. Okay. and speaking. What do you require to speak very effectively? I think first of all you should be a fluent speaker. Who is a fluent speaker? One who can gather more ideas on a subject and present them very coherently, very logically, in a sequential manner to the examiner who is sitting right in front of you. So focus on fluency. Then take care of your pronunciation. You shouldn't have much problem with your pronunciation. You shouldn't have much mother tongue influence on your tongue. So take care of pronunciation and fluency. Half of the job is done in the speaking test. And the remaining half relates to grammar. You should speak a bit, complex sentences that are a bit lengthy and connect the ideas using, cohesive elements such as, however, but, yet, still, moreover, etc. And also be sure that you are using the appropriate words in the speaking test. Remember, any day using appropriate words in the speaking test is a big challenge because you are thinking and speaking at the same time. So the examiner is watching whether your words are appropriate to the context or not. So based on these parameters in the speaking test also, you'll be scoring on the same band scale 0 to 9. All the best. Thank you.